Makofi. So the idea was that I published the list, which I will do very soon. Then you meet as parliament and you approve or reject my vice president and my prime minister, and then the prime minister is the one who now brings that motion. That's what I was told.
Yes.
Do you have any other lawyer here who can help us on that?
Your Excellency, sir, like you gave me the responsibility to have consultations with the, to go with beyond the numbers that are spelled out in the Constitution. It is not to do with the names, but the numbers, varying the numbers of cabinet ministers and ministers of state as spelled out in the Constitution. That the lawyers agreed that the options are two. One is for you to name, to send the name of the vice president and the prime minister to parliament. These two are considered, are vetted by the whole house. After the vetting, then they come and take oath to you. After taking oath, they go back to parliament to move the motion. But the second option, you as the head of state with the powers, you can appoint even a backbencher in writing to move this motion in the House. Those were the two options that the lawyers had at hand, sir.
Our advice is as follows. We are looking at varying the number, not the details of who the ministers are going to be. Because, as if I may quote the relevant articles of the Constitution, Article 113 of the Constitution, 1132, provides that the total number of cabinet ministers shall not exceed 21, except with the approval of Parliament. So here we are talking about a number. So the motion that will be presented to Parliament would be saying that we are approving the number of ministers to be varied, or cabinet ministers to be varied from 21 to, for example, 30. That's a number that would have been proposed by Your Excellency. Then Article 114, it's 114. 114 relates to other ministers. In the Constitution, they are called other ministers. But in normal parlance, there are those we call the ministers of state and so on and so forth. Now, 114, sub-article 3, provides that the total number of ministers under this article shall not exceed 21, except with the approval of Parliament. Same as with the cabinet ministers. That motion is then presented to Parliament, and Parliament approves it to whichever number that Your Excellency would have requested for it to be varied to. Thereafter, once that number has been approved, then you can name your cabinet, who would then be presented to Parliament for vetting and approval. I so submit, Your Excellency.
So here is to agree politically. I want to maintain more or less the same numbers, but with one additional minister of state from the present numbers, the ones we have now. Because the numbers we have now are total of 79, if you include the ministers of state. So I intend to propose that I add one minister of state to the present lineup. I left my documents there because I was told that it was not necessary now. But I remember it in my head. The present lineup are 79. minus the president, but this including the, I think including the vice president. Including the vice president. The lineup. So I just want to add one minister of stateship for some reason which I will explain when it comes when it comes to the bigger debate. Yes.
So, Your Excellency, sir, the issue, the principle is varying the number of ministers, cabinet ministers from 21 to 29, other ministers from 21 to 51, which comes to 80. Yes, sir, that is now the principle. So, Chairperson, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am the
Your Excellency, sir, you as our government chief whip now.
I'm of stateship. Those in favor say aye. The ones against say no. Or the very weak, no, the ayes have it.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Thank you so much, members of the caucus.
The team from the Chief Whip's office will receive them so that they can submit them. Honourable members, on that form, the list which came from Parliament, they skipped the National Economic Committee. The National Economic Committee was skipped, and those who wish to belong to that committee feel free to belong and express their interest. And those who have missed the forms, go to the office of the government chief whip at Parliament